Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Motorsport Manager. At long last, it's time to resume the season. It's been a while, a few weeks. Excited to get back into this because it's so far in the early going one of the tenser seasons that we've seen. We've got a decent amount of money. We're headed into the fourth race in Munich, so we are a third of the way through. We have a lead, but it's a tense lead. Jackie Chan, DC, and Toyota are right on our heels. We cannot afford any mistakes. Now, a quick programming note, I've decided to shorten up the videos by cutting out some stuff that's basically fluff at this point. I'm going to do all the practice stuff off screen. And then also for the remainder of the endurance run, I'll switch this up again, go into single seaters. I'll start showing it again, but I'm also going to cut out the qualifying because it doesn't really matter for this. The off-track prep and the race strategy is where the endurance is won and lost. And then when qualifying becomes more important in the next series, I'll put that back in the fray. Anybody who wants to see those things, let me know, but there's just really no utility to continuing to show what's basically just a formulaic exercise. So we're currently working on our final nose, and we're either going to do the gearbox or rear wing. I don't remember which one was going to be next after that. Of course, we had to replace one of our drivers with Ludwig. That appears to be going pretty well. I want to take a look at my drivers and make sure that they're where I want them. And I think I probably would do well by switching one. I'd like to get either Mueller or Ludwig. Yeah, Ludwig's not that good at feedback. So I think maybe if I switched Ludwig with Van Hoor, we'd probably get a little bit more even performance here. And the problem is Van Hoor starts at the bottom of that, so that's not super great. Negrau being down there, it doesn't help him either. So I don't really like those fired up zones, but we're going to sort of stick with that. I'm just going to try this out and see how it works. Mueller will be the star for this car, and see how that rolls for us. 25 hours, Sky interview. Go ahead and back our driver on that whole situation. Pit crew. No mistakes. Let's take a look at our pit crew and see what we have. It looks like, I remember we were looking at some more tired people potentially. We've definitely got some really tired people down here with mistakes. And let's just see what's available. Well, we can get another 20 on the tires with 78. I think that's an automatic hire. $19 on the front jack, that's a maybe. Then a couple 19s on the refueling. Gonzalez, not so good on the refueling, so he'd be better for this slot. And let's go ahead and swap that out. Let's get you back out there for Bessier. We still need to pull Wood out. We really don't have anybody that's ready to go. And then on the jacks, 78 and 84, we'll get more stamina there. And you're probably best staying where you are. So yeah, we really need another tire driver. So Numa at 17 is the best that we're going to find right now. We're going to bring that in as well. Go ahead and make that change and get rested up. So yeah, we definitely want to continue looking here. But given that neither one of these are very strong there, might be worth hanging on to Cottard, but that's it. We're going to bump those other ones off. That's what we're going with. Nothing too interesting going on there. Okay, and we got 14 days, couple weeks. Munich is all about the gearbox and then the nose and suspension. And these noses not quite there. We'll probably want to leave them out. Suspension is there. Let's improve our gearboxes as well, I would think. I think that's pretty much what we want to do. Boost all of these for the next race. And then just see what happens when that nose arrives. Nope, not too interested in whatever that's going on. This is moving up, 88%. We're happy with that. Want to keep all the effort over here. And there's our new nose. Okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have had both these out there with another nose coming in, now that I think of it. You're both at 89%. And yeah, that's the one we're not going to necessarily want. We'll yank you out. We'll split this for just a bit. And then we'll go there. And you're still better than this one. So we want to get this up to 90%, yank that out, see how much is needed to get that up to 90% for the race. And you know what? Let's just go. Nope, it's not going to need to be that high. We'll get there. Now let's see what we're going to design next. And of course, we've got the 3 spec parts. We've done everything we're going to do on the nose. So it was rear wing or gearbox, and I don't remember which one had garbage. Rear wing looks pretty good. Was it the gearbox that was nonsense? Yep. Yeah, the gearbox is just trash. Okay, so it's definitely the rear wing then that we're going to push. And we'll start there. Overall, currently still at 5th. We've got the number 1 nose, and if we can prop that rear wing up along with the spec parts, that's what we want to hang our hat on. Of course, that rear wing going to come in super fast. Mueller has become a believer. I've always felt something was missing. There's something out there greater than just the both of us. So after a near miss on the track, I felt this enormous realization that someone out there must have a plan for us all. He's got plus 10 morale, plus 1 focus. So that is going to help. And then the cockpit is signed up Lucas Ludwig as a spokesman. His fitness is going down. Marketability is going up. Well, great. One of our big new hires just lost a bunch of fitness in the endurance series. That's not going to help us so much at all. Okay, we're going to yank you out. Then let's see how far this can go. Okay, so get all the way there. We would need 19, and we don't want to quite get it all the way there. So I think we're going to want to be at about 16. Then a little bit of improvement for these. And since we're not going to be doing any gearboxes for a while, I think I might as well just leave them out there and give them whatever improvement they can get. Let's run that for a few days. And let's go with our new rear wing. We've got 1 in. That'll be number 2. We can get improved fuel efficiency during the race. I think that's one we will end up going for. But for right now, we just keep building these. I don't think I want to build any reliability on them just yet. Let's just keep bringing in the parts. See how things look when we get that next one in. All right, they're looking forward to Munich. Likely to be some rain. The nose is going to be the key part for the track, which is really going to help us. Lowered red zone is nice. Both of these really are good. Not sure which one I'll want to go with. But let's keep on rolling with it. That one's going to be coming out after the next race, then we'll probably want another one before we really start pouring a lot of effort into it. Okay, so here we have 7 days. We can almost get there in 20. I'm going to drop this down to about 15, I think, and keep everything else moving. Okay. Gleisner said headquarters okay. There's plenty of areas we can improve on. Nope, not worrying about that right now. Toyota is supposed to do well. We'll see about that. See if maybe we can do anything about it. But everybody's picking Toyota, so that's not good for us. Then we're going to have another vote with them talking about semi-sequential pit stops. That's something I think I would be in favor of. And you can see our rear wing parts now getting up to decent. 91%, so that's just about perfect. I'm going to slide everything back into improvement. Let's definitely also make sure that we're getting that added nose out there. That'll be a little bit more performance. You can see how much this is doing compared to everything else. Big, big difference. Our one available sponsor. 23 degrees. Could be soft, could be medium. Tire wear being low. So I'll risk the medium, and I can always, of course, come back to it. Hard tires definitely should not be necessary. We are thinking to be 10th. Yuck. And 5th. Interesting. And the only one who isn't happy is Castelli. Thinks our parts could be better. All right, so we had to switch to medium tires. We'll be changing that up there. The softs, boy, they were close, but they were going to be just a little bit short. They expect some rain during the race, although there's nothing starting so far. We may need to throw some longer, some shorter stints in, and the softs just not going to have that flexibility. So we're just going away with the mediums. And we'll plan on riding them pretty hard, I would expect. Then qualifying was rainy. After practice went excellent. We finished 3rd and 5th or 6th. You can see all of this. We got some good press out of that. But qualifying was 4th and 11th in the rain. So we did not do as well there. I think we'll start off with Mueller here. And I'm going to be a little bit cautious on the fuel. Partly because we do normally burn more in that first stint. But my calculations came out to about 31 laps of fuel is what we should need. So we're going to go down to 40. We should be going at about 43 laps, so that would not be a lot of hybrid that we would end up using there. So that's a significant discount off the fuel that we can take. But again, I haven't done this in a while. So I'm going to leave Castelli, not a big enough gap there for me to pulling one out. And unfortunately, Ludwig's endurance down significantly from what his capabilities are. 40 laps there as well. And still a big gap between the two cars, even with Ludwig over there. We'll see if that continues also. Of course, our standard neutral strategy. And with Toyota on the pole, we are definitely going to have our work cut out for us. Right there. And Jackie Chan alongside them. So each of our top competitors having a car that finished better in qualifying than did us. About half a second here, full second there. So that's going to be interesting. But Mueller looking great for the start. And then solid down here. So at least we've got decent form going for us, or at least so that's what it appears. And I'm a bit nervous about this just because it's been so long. And it's easy to make critical mistakes when you're just trying to get through a long race. Let's see how we do. Eventually I'll want to pike up the aggressiveness, but not right away. And our normal dropping to the back of the pack would appear to be happening here. Let the other cars be aggressive, we'll be aggressive later. Might as well speed this along, I think. It looks like our tires are going to hold about where they are. No sign of any temperature change. So it would not hurt us to go push on them a little bit early. Because we should have plenty of extra tires. Oh, goody. There's a lockup by Castelli right away. Not what we're looking for. Mueller driving well and picking up a spot now with the increased tire aggressiveness. I think we're going to be able to do a huge amount of pushing. Let's go ahead and flatten it out now. And then we'll hope the medium tires can just stay at that level. And let's see who's... Yep, Toyota's up in first. So in the very early going, it is not a good day for us, and it's a great day for Toyota as expected. We would finish 5th in this race. But, of course, it's too early to make any such pronouncements just yet. One thing I don't know if I fully accounted for is the fact that there's very high fuel burn on this track. So I may have cut the fuel a little short. We're going to want to watch that cautiously. Very cautiously indeed. Mueller still driving great though. But he is losing ground on the leaders despite his fired up status. Of course, everybody ahead of him, on the other hand, is on soft tires. And that's not a point to be overlooked because it means they're going to have to probably either going to burn their tires really close at the end or they're really going to have an extra stint. And either one of those is going to be much to our benefit. So half an hour in, and I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to have plenty of fuel here, which would mean we hit this pretty much right on the nose. It's looking to me like we're going to have actually a few laps of fuel left, and we'll want to back off the fuel some in future stints. So right now we're just hanging out, and we want to outlast them if at all possible. Mueller's still running strong. Castelli running well too at 7-7, despite the fact that we're hanging out near the back of the pack. Yeah, go and use those power boosts, you racers up there. That will only increase our advantage in the long term. And with the tire temperatures hanging out steady, we should just be able to boost through this at a high rate of speed. 45 minutes into the race. We're over half an hour behind, and now we're starting to see some pits. Half a minute behind, rather, not half an hour there. I'm seeing nothing but good things right now. Another 20 minutes on these stints. We are still losing ground slowly. Should have plenty of fuel though, and so the question will simply be, how much do we need for the next one? And definitely be less. So we definitely overshot the fuel. I was overcautious. I'd rather be overcautious than under though. Now we're picking up positions as they go in for early pits. And that's only going to help us long term. Coming up on the 1 hour mark. Mueller driving perfectly, and Castelli up above 8. So absolutely brilliant driving by both of our drivers, especially Mueller, on this first stint. Up now to second. Less than 10 minutes to go before we will drop in ourselves for our first stop. And we've still got one team hanging out up there, burning their tires. And now we're catching them quickly, and now they're coming in. Okay, let's slow this down now. And we're far too close together to, pit at the same time. We're going to let Castelli come in first. I think I'll do a slightly short one here. Have her come in initially. So we'll switch to Ludwig. Switch to more medium tires. Yeah, we're going to have fuel of 11 laps. That means we're going to be using just under 30. Let's boost it up to just over 30. I'm going to call it 33. I still want to play this a little bit safe, but not too bad. We'll give him 33 and then see how that goes for his stint. And we're definitely going to play the safe on the pit stops. It's not worth risking anything more than that. Let's go ahead and go hybrid burn a bit here with Mueller. And we will come in for this pit stop. We will switch to Goddard. Going to go with a similar fuel scenario. 33. Safe pit stop. Should be another 45 seconds. Go and switch to harvest there. And we should have burned the tires a little bit more at the end of that last stint. So that's something we can correct. This is looking pretty good. Let's check out car number 1's pit stop. "41 seconds. Out in 8th. Looking pretty good there as well. I'm going to go hybrid and match up our amounts. There we go. And we should be ready to roll again. So just need to make sure I use a little bit better use of the tires, but then of course we're also going to want to see whether or not this 33 laps is low enough or whether we need to go even lower. Eighth and 12th now. So we are not looking particularly good, but there are 3 teams who have not even come in for their 1 pit stop. There's absolutely no good reason I can think of to be staying out this long. So we may look a little bit better once that's done. One of them is in. Goddard going for his fired up part of the run. Ludwig trying to make some progress. And if we look at the, let's see. Yeah, our energy levels, per usual, we're holding a higher amount than everybody else. They're using up their batteries quicker, which is why we tend to drop behind at the beginning, one of the reasons. Ride with Goddard up in 6th. Not showing his best driving at the moment. Ludwig doing better and is up to 10th. Everybody is now in. So currently 5th and 10th. Looking a little bit better than we were earlier, but still getting the pants beat off of us by Jackie Chan and Toyota. So we still have a lot of work to do in this race. I like our chances of moving up quite a bit further. But it's a little early to tell yet. Not even barely over a quarter of the way through, between a quarter and a third, through our journey on this particular race. Probably about time to do a nice weather check, and absolutely no change yet. So if it's going to rain, it's going to be at about the halfway point of the race or later. About halfway through now, this second stint. Goddard trying to push his way up into 4th. Got there for a moment, but his form is just not there. Well, Ludwig, though, is driving fantastically. Does appear to have 10th solidly and looking to move up on this team for 9th. So any points we can get there, of course, will be most beneficial, and yet we drop down too far. Switch back to harvesting. Definitely looking like 33 laps of fuel was indeed too many. We're going to keep dropping that number down. Up back to 11th. And now Ludwig's going to be feeling his oats for a bit. Goddard slipping back to 6th. Still holding with subpar driving on his part. No, there really isn't. All the way down to last. So this is looking a bit unfortunate. We're kind of, at this point now, hoping for a break because we're not looking too good for this race the way it is going. I was hoping for better. There is still time, but it appears that we're going to need some help to move up. And yeah, we've got way too much fuel. That's part of the problem. Way too much fuel. So we're definitely going to drop that down even more for our next stint, which is going to be the longer one. And you know what? I'm going to slow this down because we haven't done it once again, but I'm going to push here for a bit at the end. Can't really do it for long, though. Ludwig needs to come in. We're going to switch to Negrau. Fresh tires. We're going to have about 8 laps of fuel. We're going to give him a little bit extra, but we're going to pump that up to 28 now. That should be time for him to go around a little bit more. Couple cars have already come in for their second pit, but most of them have not. And we'll go ahead and bring in Goddard now for Van Hoor. Same 28 laps. We'll be trying to get just an extra lap or two, of course, out of these next couple of stints. Negrau out and looking to absolutely stink up the track with his bad driving, unfortunately. And now ready to chill out. Ninth and 12th as we emerge. And we're getting some of the others into pit row, so we'll see how well that does. But I'm not too encouraged by our form at the moment. Van Hoor looking passable, Negrau looking bad and getting worse. And oh my goodness, did I burn too much hybrid there. Don't pay so much attention to the standings that you mess up your strategy. Four of the cars ahead of Van Hoor have not pit for the second time, so that's a hope for them to move up further. Just over half the race to go when we move up another spot. But it appears that we're generally stuck in the middle of the pack on this track. It could change. There's another pit stop coming. Good grief. So yeah, I definitely need to remember that I was overcautious on the fuel at the beginning of this one and not be a little more aggressive on it for future races. Heating up just a bit, I believe our tires are now. Sixth and 10th, and I think over time we are gradually making some headway forward, but I don't know that it's enough. Just hitting now the halfway point. Half of Munich remaining to be raced. Van Hoor moving up to 5th, at least momentarily. Yep, there's that last pit stop. And so Jackie Chan and Toyota jockeying for the lead ahead of us. And if this held, it would be a terrible race for us. We'd be third overall, a very distant third. But we would still not be a huge distance behind in the standings and could potentially come back from it. Having said that, it would not be my choice of how to have things work out. On the other hand, Van Hoor is only a few seconds behind here, and maybe 10 seconds behind that spot. There's definitely room to move up more and get more points, shave some off that lead. McGraw got about 3 cars within, maybe 4 within striking distance. So there's still definitely more that could be done, and hopefully will be. Still looking dry. Indeed, no sign of any of that rain that they said was coming. McGraw up a little bit, and Van Hoor is improving as well in the form department. So we're not looking quite as bad as we were earlier. Another 20 minutes or so on this stint. I'm getting slightly more optimistic as this race ticks along, which is what tends to happen. I'm going to slow it down a bit and go push on the tires. Let's get what we can out of them. Both drivers continuing to slowly improve their form. Some of these cars in this position really have pulled away from us in terms of McGraw there. That's probably about as far as we want to go. Give Van Hoor a little bit more run. There we go. Only a couple seconds behind, but we don't seem to be able to make that pass. Negrao with low stamina. Not that low, though. We'll accept that. All right, slow this down a bit. We'll want to bring in Negrao first. Probably have him finish this lap and go one more. Yep. Especially with the stamina where that is. Boy, both drivers looking amazing. Castelli has the higher stamina. We're going to go to her. So I think we want to drop this now to 26. Just shave off a bit more. Van Hoor at least one more lap. I'm going to try to squeeze it in with just that one more. And we'll go to Mueller. And again to 26 laps, which still should leave us some to spare, just not a lot. .42-second pit stop there, so they're taking about the same amount of time. Let's see what we've got on the other side. And it's the refueling that's taking the time. 41 and change. Okay, let's go ahead and sync these up. And get her rolling. So Mueller 8.2, Castelli 8.8. Both of them driving very well. We're pitting a little bit earlier than most of the other teams, so question, of course, how far will we move back up? Closing in on 2 hours. Castelli gets a pass and then drops out of fired up. But of course, Mueller then falls back again. Mueller is the one that's really going to matter here. Got to get him on the podium if we're going to really have a decent race. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're getting a little bit high here. 9-2 and 7-9. I mean, I can't ask for much better driving. Mueller will pick up another spot here because they're really burning their tires. They're going to have to come in soon anyway. There they go. They're coming in. So we roll back up to 6th and 10th. Still 3 more to pit up there, and we'll pick up that spot. But it still looks like we're stuck in 5th. And we're waiting for really them to pit and decide they're actually going to do that before we figure out where we are. Because Thelye will hit that mark very soon. There it is. Mueller's form is unfortunately dropping because Thelye actually driving better than he is at the moment. Up to 5th. They slid by us, and we could actually get to 4th. And that would be something worth noticing. Doggone it. Just barely clicked it in time. But at 5th and 10th, well, Toyota has fallen back quite a bit at the moment. But we'd be too far behind Jackie Chan. So I want to run both these drivers pretty much as close as they can get to their end time. Minimal refueling. I'm going to have to make an interesting call on that. We've got about 20 minutes left, and Mueller's up to 3rd now. Now that is something. And could get 2nd. So we appear to be making our move now with an hour and a half to go in the race. Mueller trying to track down that number 2 position. Unfortunately, Canal is fired up. Similar tire condition. Not going to get it yet. But we're just sort of staying there close. 8-5, and now Castelli dropping to 7-4, but is up to 9th. We're looking for that spot. Right there, but can't get it. And that we'd still drop down to 3rd, though. But look at how close the championship is. And Mueller up to 2nd. Now, if that holds, okay, we would still be 3rd place in the race, but we would hold the lead. So now what needs to happen for us is to have Castelli's team move up a little bit. And we got about 8 minutes or so to go. We don't have that long of this. I like our odds of finishing 2nd here. We could pick up a couple more spots here. We probably still don't win the race. But we don't lose too much ground either. That would sort of be a punt, kicking the can down the road, if you will. Okay, let's slow this down. Let's use push on the tires. I think I'm a little bit late again in doing that. So let's see. Mueller, you're going to have to, I think, go in. Well, the thing is you can't start a lap over the line. That's where the penalty is. The difference between them, I can do them both on the same lap. Mueller's 2nd. And Castelli, I think we're just going to make it here. So I want to do this as perfectly as I can. And if Mueller pits on this next lap after this one, we should be okay. There we go. And that's actually his best lap of the race. All right. We're going to switch to Goddard. And let's see. Nope, we've got the bonus on the mediums. We're going to stick with mediums. Fuel. We shouldn't need 26. I'm going to lower it by 2. We're going to go with 24 and change. And then Kesthelyi. Now let's be sure about this. Yep. You're going to cross under the line. I think. Well, hold on. You're still coming around. Yeah, that's too close. Let's bring you in now. And Ludwig's better driver anyway. Well, hold on just a moment. Because the problem we're going to have is, see, that's 73. Yeah. I've got to let her go and hope she gets around in time, because otherwise we're going to be tripping over the two cars here. Mueller is too close behind. Boy, this is going to be close. Get over that line. Yeah. Okay, about 7 seconds, and also your best lap. Now we're going to do it. "24 laps of fuel. Safe. There we go. Final stops. And out comes Goddard. We'll go neutral to start. And Goddard will come out in 6th. Everybody ahead of him has already pit. Or has not pit yet, rather. 41-second stop. Neutral again. Speed this along. 5th and 10th currently. But we will not stay there, of course. And Ludwig may not even quite get, he probably will, but he may not even quite get. We got plenty of time for both drivers to finish up. I was just checking their time splits. Talking about getting into the fired up zone, but I think he'll get there. And Goddard's going to get his soon. 5th and 9th. 7, 8, and 10. So we've got strong form here for this final push. I think we've got a chance to pull something out of this race. 5th and 8th. But right now, we drop to 3rd. Of course, that gearbox is going to be holding us back all year long. So we're just going to have to fight against that. Final hour of racing here in Munich. And it could be a tense one. 4th and 8th. And the leaders from Toyota coming into the pits. And coming out, still ahead of us. But look, we're only 12 seconds off the lead. Goddard winning this race with our first car is not out of the question. We're going to finish 2nd at worst, and that's probably what we're going to get because they're on soft tires ahead of us. Goddard still in the fired up zone for a bit longer. Up to second now, but 13 seconds behind, so I don't think we're going to catch that. We're going to assume that now that we're going to stay in second behind Toyota. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And then the question is, where does Ludwig finish? Driving 9.2, should pick up another spot to 7th. And boy, we're a point behind Toyota right now. So I think Toyota wins this race. We probably edge out Alpine Matmut for second. And maybe, like, the race at the top of the standing is going to be ridiculously tight. That's the way it looks from here. Still half an hour to go. Yep, don't care. Goddard is fading compared to the leaders. No real surprise there. We made up some ground because of some of their pit stops, but we couldn't get all the way there. Ludwig still 8th. And has fallen back compared to Montero, so we may not even pass him. Be really nice to get that. Of course, he's still got some work left to do. And Goddard sort of in trouble here. Got to hold off third place there. Oh boy, his form just dropped. Switch back to hybrid. Now pulling away some again. And here comes Ludwig. If he's going to do anything, it's going to be now. 3 seconds behind 7th place. Let's slow this down a bit. I'm feeling like this is the time to go push on the tires. And this is going to be a tense finish, it appears. I sort of want to watch the fuel here. We should have plenty of fuel, actually. I think we're going to... Well, it doesn't say we have excess yet, but I think we're going to. Goddard only a couple seconds up. 2 seconds and change here. I'm going to switch to high. Need to watch this fuel really close. I don't think there's any point in doing that with Goddard, though. And Ludwig picking up maybe a little bit of ground. Not a lot. Got to go neutral again. And all that rain we were expecting never materialized. It's kind of frustrating. Yeah, I think I want to stay on the engine for now and look at it's right there. Goddard struggling to hold over here. Ignore that. It's not far away, Ludwig. There's some traffic. Boom, one car down. Come on. We're going to switch to hybrid again now. Less than 10 minutes, and they're burning their power boost, which I think benefits us. Goddard barely hanging on as well. Got some real problems. And the leader, Goddard now falls to third, which is a lot worse for us. And the other thing is the leaders have mechanical issues. So if they were to have to retire here right at the end, I don't think they will, but it's a chance. Goddard is a second and a half back. Them, I don't know. Well, I'm going to bump him up to high. See if we can get that back. Let's burn a little bit more fuel here. 5 minutes now. We got 3 seconds there. It's not looking good for Goddard. Ludwig, 2 seconds behind. Look at them burning in first place and still with the mechanical problems. But they don't have very far to go to finish this now. 2 second gap there. 2 second gap here. Oh, it's so close and we need these positions. Get down to 2 laps, then I'm going to throw on the hybrid. Ludwig losing ground. So was Goddard. I don't think we're going to make it. Oh my goodness. Like, if we got both of these positions, we retain the overall championship points lead, but we're not going to. Switch to hybrid. What the heck? I'll watch the fuel carefully here, but Goddard down to 4th. Oh, that is hideous. We have excess fuel and we're burning it as fast as we can. Oh, this was close, but down to 5th. Oh, wow. What a collapse at the end by Zane Goddard. And I don't understand why either. Ugh, ugh, ugh. That's a tough one. That is a tough finish there, and that's going to put us behind the 8 ball. I think we just dropped from 1st to 3rd in this championship. Yep. Now, we're not that far behind, but we have to seriously consider now the possibility that we may not win. Almost halfway through the season. You know, the middle part of the season, usually the toughest part, but still, we're going to have to play this as if we could lose and not get done. I think it was so close. Any little bit of luck could have helped us or hurt us. If I managed fuel a little better at the beginning of the race, maybe that would have made the difference. I don't know. You know, manage the tires a little better. But it was just close, and we didn't hit what we needed to hit. That's the bottom line. Good driving from the first car. Really good driving from the second car, too, except for Negrau. We still gained some money. But clearly, getting those spoilers out there is really what we got to hang our hat on. Will it be enough? So we're going to have to try to bounce back here. Yokohama's coming up, expected to rain in Japan. There's plenty of time for that. We'll probably have improved rear wings of some kind out there for it. But yeah, I mean, the gap in the drivers possibly really hurting us now. Got to get the car more competitive. I don't know how this is going to go. I really don't. We're definitely need to mount a comeback now. And Yokohama, the middle race of the season, is clearly going to be massively important for Alpine Matmut. That'll be coming up next time as Motorsport Manager rolls on. Thanks for watching, everybody.